Welcome to Boys Podcast, episode 76. I'm Robbie.
I'm Josh.
And we're going to get right to our episode in just a moment. But first, a little business. boyspodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. There you will find links to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts.
Boys Podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share with a friend.
Email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Submit some feedback, put your physical address in the bottom, and we'll send you out some free stickers as a way of saying thank you for reaching out to the show.
Speaking of thank yous, we'd like to give a big thank you to our sponsors, Anthem Brewing, anthembrewing.com. Delicious beers from delicious people.
That's good. That was good.
Fatbison.com. Good wood from a good man. Good heart, good soul, good dad. Good dads need good wood. Fatbison.com. Lastly, OKC Comedy. Robbie, why don't you tell us a little bit about OKC Comedy?
Well, you can learn all you want at OKCComedy.com, including Friday, October 27th, they're bringing in Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You know him from the WWF. Now get to know him on a one-on-one basis. They also have new merchandise. Check them out at OKCComedy.com.
Lastly, thank you. Yes, you. Sitting in your cubicle, driving in your car. Maybe you're sitting on your back porch, enjoying a nice Anthem or a Burra Stout, listening to this on a subwoofer speaker system.
So the voice really comes through.
Really just bassy. Thank you for the donations, the tweets, the comments. It's greatly appreciated.
Last but not least, we're giving away a pair of weekend passes to Wizard World Comic Con. Wizard World Comic Con is coming to Oklahoma City October 27th through 29th. This year's lineup includes Kate Beckinsale, Val Kilmer, Jewel State, WWE superstar The Undertaker, Ernie Hudson, Ray Park, James Marsters, and many more. Plus, kids 10 and under are free.
Now that's a deal.
Use the code OKC20 to get 20% off your ticket at checkout at wizardworld.com. We're also giving away some tickets. So what we're going to do, I think we already have done by this point, by the time this episode goes out, we posted a logo, a Wizard World logo on our Instagram.
Yes.
All you have to do, like the photo, tag 2 friends. We'll pick a winner and we'll get you the tickets digitally. And that's going to be a pair, once again, of weekend passes.
That's 2 3-day passes.
6 days of fun.
6 days of stars.
That's a lot of stars. I know I kind of zipped through it this time. I'm really excited about the episode.
That's a killer lineup. I mean, Val Kilmer alone. You know?
Go for The Undertaker. Stay for Ernie Hudson. That's what my papa always said. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. We just hit over 11,000 downloads for the show. That might be small potatoes to some people. But you know what? To us, it means a lot.
Hey, it's small potatoes, but it's a heaping helping for us.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you guys. The best thing you can do is tell a friend. We also have a donate button on our website if you want to throw us a few bucks. Help us buy a new mixer because maybe our mixer is about to die. And I'm kind of freaking out about it.
I think it is. It's on its last leg. You know, the best things in life are free. This podcast is free, but it doesn't have to be.
I like that, Josh. And I'll tell you what, without further ado, let's get to our show. We have a really good one this week. You might know him from the Sativa Prophets. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Huckwheat. He's going to walk in now. All right, episode 76. We're here. Our equipment's finally working. And we're joined by Huckwheat today.
Shalom.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Thank you so much for coming by.
I'm really excited.
We're here on a Sunday once again. We kind of mixed it up last week. What night did we do last week? Do you remember?
What? Tuesday?
Yeah, we did like a Tuesday night.
For some weird reason.
It was weird and different, but we're here on Sunday, and yeah, we're just going to bullshit. So I have to start out by talking about what went on in front of my house this morning. So I wake up, slept in a little bit, ran a couple errands before you guys arrived, and there's this woman walking down the street, and she's screaming, and I'm just like, whoa, great, another Sunday in Bethany. And this tweaker woman's walking down the street screaming, and I'm like...
That's why the real estate prices are so low.
Oh, yeah. Good schools. Good tweakers. She's screaming at nothing, and I'm just like, oh, shit, here we go. This is a common occurrence on this street. And this guy drives by in a red pickup, and he's screaming at her.
No judgment on the pickup.
I know. No, it was a newer model. But,
it could have been a Ford Fiesta. Who knows? It just so happened to be a pickup truck.
So she's screaming at him and she's kicking at his truck. And I'm like, oh, the tweaker couple is fighting.
You told me that earlier. So when she was kicking it, was she kicking like the tire? Was she kicking it hard enough to like dent?
He pulled up next to her and I couldn't tell what they were saying because they both had meth mouth real bad, you know? So it was just like, blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard.
But they can understand each other in
Yeah.
some weird meth language.
Absolutely. Yeah. So she's like kicking his door of his truck like that stage in Street Fighter where you destroy the car.
You do the Chun-Li kick?
Yes. She was just like lightning kicking his car. And then she goes over to the neighbor's yard and she grabs a boulder. No shit. Like a big round boulder the size of a fucking basketball.
Now, hold on. Did she have to like lift it? Like
Deadlifts.
Was it a garden rock?
It was a big, like one of those rounded, kind of like the ones that you hide your key under. But this was real.
This is a real deal.
She lifts this shit straight over her head and throws it at his truck and spider webs.
So she's trying to get like
the front windshield.
Extra points. She is trying to get extra points.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Beat the shit out of this truck.
So his glass just shatters and spider webs and they're screaming. Then this old elderly couple drives by in their car and they stop and they're like, do you need help? And I did understand her then. She was like, I don't need your help. Get out of here. And I was like, okay, disrespectful, number one. They're just trying to help. They're a sweet old couple. They're probably coming home from church right about now.
Oh, yeah.
They're just being good Samaritans.
Or they're on their way to Brahms to get a nice ice cream sundae.
Well, that's what you do after church. You go to Brahms, right?
You do. Brahms or Mazio's, one of the two.
Yeah.
I just need to get some bread and some milk.
Yeah. Get a little egg, a little cheese.
Well, honey, while
Get
we're
home.
here, I'll get a pecan praline single dip. While we're here.
So I'm the kind of guy where I don't really like to get involved. I just I'm going to back into my house and just watch from the window.
Homer Simpson's.
Yeah. But I did feel really bad. But my roommate was getting home at the time and he was like, do you think she's trying to be kidnapped? And I was like, no, because she'd be like running away from the truck. I don't think she'd be keep running up to the
like
truck.
the guy was kidnapping her?
Right.
Okay, so this happened right here on this corner.
Right in front of my house.
So you got front row seats to the spectacle. Okay, so what I think it is, because I've been in one of these situations where I was with a kind of a crazy girl. And, you get...
As you do.
You get in an argument in the car, and one of you goes, fuck this, I'm leaving! You're doing on me! You get out of the car, and it's dramatic and blah, blah, blah. It was probably that. I'm assuming it was a breakup. I'm assuming she meth mouth fucked somebody that she wasn't supposed to.
She gummed somebody else.
Or maybe he did. And there was probably an argument. And then they were probably coming back from Brahms or somewhere.
Or church.
Yeah, I'm sure they were really dressed for church.
Yeah, no.
Sunday's best. It was probably a lover's quarrel that went a little awry.
So he goes back home in his truck, which sounds like there's no muffler on it. It's just, barely hanging on. Yeah. And then he starts walking down the street and I'm like, oh shit, shit's about to get real. But then they went their separate ways. They're probably going to meet somewhere. That's my story, but that was a wonderful way to wake up this morning.
I saw the guy and I saw the lady when I was pulling up. And what I like about it is how casually they just seemed to be. If that just happened to me, I would be kind of like pissed. It's like the dude has like hands in his pockets, like just walking around for the girl who just beat the shit out of his car.
Another day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it is. Let me ask you, Huck, have you ever had a moment like that? Because I know I have, where I'm fighting with my significant other. This happened several years ago, but I'm thinking of a certain time. And they do that, fuck this, I'm getting out of the car, or fuck this, I'm walking the other way.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, if you're with somebody for at least a year and it goes past that, then you're going to have that, I remember like with one of my exes, it just came to a point where, it just wasn't right. There was she may or may not have been in cahoots with her boss, right? There's all this speculation.
Sure.
And to me, she started getting her attitude was changing. I'm like, hey, she's fucking up. I even got to the point where I was hitting up her baby daddy and like, hey, bro, she ain't acting right. So we both assumed, we didn't really like click. Both assumed that she was on that meth mouth.
Okay. Okay.
And so she was irate. We was at what's that bar called off of Portland and 39th?
The Porthole?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I just made that just clicked to me the name. I always wonder why they called it that. It's on Portland.
Yeah.
It's the Porthole.
I was wondering why I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
But they give the biggest shots of Jaeger I've ever seen in my life. That's why I used to frequent
Okay.
that bar.
Okay.
And maybe there was a couple more Jaeger shots that I was used to when I would frequent that bar. So it was me. I was like, fuck this. And I went and got in her car and drove off.
Okay, that is way different, but awesome.
And yeah, I was like, fuck this, you know? Because, you know, you see some stuff, some textings and stuff. And you're just like, hey,
been there, yeah.
fuck it. But yeah, absolutely. And then I've also seen something. I was hoping it was the same truck. Because there's a spot, a hookah bar, hookah lounge, I should say.
Uh-huh.
Not a hookah bar, Hubbly Bubbly.
Yeah,
off of 30th and Lake Classen or whatever.
Yeah.
And same situation. Chick is outside the car. Man pulls up. It was a blue Chevy. Blue and gray because it just had sunspots. Right?
Chevy trucks.
Right.
When you want to argue with your girlfriend and kick her out of your truck.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's meth month.
Yeah, get your baby. Screaming. She threw something. I can't remember, but it was like in his headlight and stuff like that. So, but it wasn't the same couple. So I was kind of disappointed in that.
Well, what do you do? So this is what happened to me. So I was with, I'll say an ex. We were in Austin. We were down kind of on the drag where all the shopping places are, like
It's even
hip
'cause
places.
Well, you're not in your comfort zone.
No.
You're in a foreign territory.
You're 6.5 hours from home. So we get into a kind of a fight. Well, it was a fight. And she just decided to walk the other way. And I thought, what the fuck are you doing? First of all, I drove us here from Oklahoma City. Where are you going? Like, where are you going? Okay, we're staying at my buddy's house for the weekend. You don't have a car. You don't even know which way is north. You don't know how to get home. Where are you going? Like, are you just going to go blow off some steam? I think a lot of times that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Get away.
Well, you just don't want to be, because, okay, one time that happened to me, we were on a road trip and we were taking like side highways, like little scenic highways. And it was just getting to that boiling point. It's the same thing. I kind of knew she was cheating on me, but we haven't brought it up yet. And then she got a text message and she had her phone like here and I could see it and it was a dude. I'm like, God damn it. Are we going to have this conversation now? She's like, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. So on this scenic fucking highway, nothing around at all. I decided to open the door because we were going like 25 miles an hour. I opened the door. I'm like, stop the car right now. She stopped. I got out and I started walking the other direction. And as soon as I started walking, I'm like, where the fuck am I going?
You're going to hitchhike back to the city?
I have a shitty cell phone and no service. Where am I going to go? Eventually, I'm going to have to get back in that car with her. So that's when you start thinking like, okay, how can I make this better temporarily till we get back to Oklahoma?
Yeah.
So like, I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. You're not, it's just a friend. It's just a friend who sends you his dick. That's all that is.
So you just went into the cuckold role.
Yeah.
Until you get back to
Until
civilization.
You get back when you're back, you're like, you know what? Fuck this shit. When she's at work, I'm packing all my shit. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Well, it's funny you bring up the phone thing. So I would never snoop in my girl's phone. Would never.
Right.
Would never. Have never. Well, hold on. Will never again snoop. But if we're sitting on the couch and that phone goes off, I look.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
the light goes on and you look and you see who's texting. You might not see what the text is. You might not care.
You might hope it's something funny.
Yeah. But if it's sitting on my couch and it goes off, I'm not going to pick it up. But I definitely just walk into
you don't
it.
touch. It's like,
For those crucial couple of seconds before you get busted.
Bang.
You're like, oh, that's from so. Okay, that's cool. No big deal.
yeah, but here's the thing. They do the same thing. Like if your phone goes off, you sluts. Like as a joke, I'm like, yeah, actually it is. And she's can I leave? She wants to blow me. I just really want to get blown.
Yeah.
It's that time.
Yeah, it's that
we
time.
have a 1:20 appointment.
Yeah.
The other thing is when you're dating someone and there's the moment that it just ain't gonna work. Like you said, not clicking earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that moment, but you're like, she's fine and she's cool, but
Wait,
I
you mean
know,
like-
I know there's no future here.
Fine, like okay, or like fine.
like fine.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with
you-
the O.
Yeah. But there's no future, but you're having fun right now.
Yeah.
Maybe the sex is good. Maybe, you get along, but there's no future. And, I haven't been in that position in many, many years, but I remember being that way and being like, how long do you let this go on?
Yeah, man, you just can't, I got some buddies that going through it, and then his cousin's going through it too. And you get to a point where you have to know that it's not going anywhere. And especially if you're living with each other and things are like you putting hands on each other, you got to, if she or he is not doing anything to better the situation, it's time to go. You got to make that decision for yourself.
But there is that moment of limbo. And for some people, that moment might be years.
Right,
For
yeah.
some people, it might be days. But that moment is such a weird feeling. Like I've dated girls in the past where I'm like, I know I'm either I'm crazy or she's crazy, or either way, this shit ain't gonna work.
See, that's when you know it's real bad, when you start thinking like, am I the crazy one? Like they start, what do they call it, emotionally manipulating or whatever. Like,
or sometimes I might be the crazy one.
Could be.
I've been crazy in the past. I'm a pretty docile guy in my 30s, but in my 20s, I got a little crazy.
Have you ever had like you said, when you realize that it's time to go? Have you ever had the click on moment mid coitus? I had
I was like, 3 more pumps. Hold on, and then I'm out.
She came home. This is the next. She came home like super wasted from a bar. It was like all over me, but still being shitty, like talking shit to me while we were fucking.
I'm just
laying there. It's like, okay, this is it. This is done. After we're both done here, this is done. Like we're finishing this. Obviously,
I think mine was more like as soon as. Oh fuck! What did I just do?
Yeah.
Again.
Whoops. Again.
We haven't been together for 3 weeks.
Right. Or it's like, oh, that's okay. That's 3 more days. I have to be cool. Like,
just make sure.
Yeah. Like it's going to be cool. Another week. Then I'm fucking out of here. Oh, it happened again.
It's weird how like that emotion, that love will make you do things that you wouldn't ever fucking logically do ever.
Dude, I dated a girl, and this was probably 12 years ago, that hit me. Like straight up domestic abuse.
Oh, yeah.
Threw a bong full of water at my head. A glass, like a nice heavy piece that isn't made for throwing, like a tomahawk.
Lord.
Threw it at my head. I dodged it Matrix style. It shattered on the wall behind me. This girl would like push me and like, I'm not talking like beat me, you know, but she'd like hit me and
get
shit.
aggressive.
And I was like, I don't like this. Like, this is not cool.
And it wasn't like in a playful manner.
No, it wasn't.
No,
just to
not
be
at all.
totally honest. Yeah, I mean, she was violent.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But the sex was so good.
That's what I'm
really
saying. Like,
was.
This girl did things. She pulled knife on me. She'd get like physics punch me and shit. But man, the sex was really good.
Then you start weighing it out.
Yeah. Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Is it pussy really that good?
I guess I must have just been crazy because my ex, it wasn't that special. I guess I was just there. I was like, well.
You were more the emotional, the heart, the love was strong.
Yeah, I think it was just convenient. She was sexy, mind you.
Okay.
Okay, she looked good. But, yeah, I think I might have just been the crazy one in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Not seeing.
It happens.
You know, yep.
So how's your week going, man? So we're here on a Sunday, kind of wrapping up the week, or for some people, just starting the week. This episode comes out on a Friday, which I guess before we go any further, we need to talk about this show coming up because I want to get this out there in the open.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I rock with the collective called Sativa Prophets. We're like an art and hip hop collective, and we just released this project called Into the Clouds. Obviously, and stuff. We wanted to make a play on it because we have to, in a sense, at least once, right? Mm-hmm. And so Friday is going to be the release show, or release party is what we like to call it, at the Speakeasy. We have Local Man Ruins Everything, Flock of Pigs, Zoot Suit, some live art upstairs, and if the weather's permitting, outside in the balcony or whatever, or the patio and stuff. And it should be dope. I'm just really excited for the different mesh of music and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's this Friday, as in today, when the episode comes
the 20th.
out.
Today.
If you're listening to on the 20th, it's out today. You said Zoot Suit. Zoot Suit features members of Trash TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's his like hardcore band. It's a heavier band.
Okay.
Or louder band.
I love those guys.
Yeah, they're cool dudes. They played a couple of weeks ago at Speakeasy and I missed it, and I want to see it really bad. So Friday's going to be badass. I'm going to be there for sure. I was telling Robbie earlier, like, the way Sativa Prophets performs reminds me a lot of like a punk rock show. Like, you guys get like super into it and like crowd surfing, like just get in the crowd and fuck with it. It's so much fun.
I think that's why we mesh well with like
bands,
all these bands, man. And we're after like this past 6 months really working with a lot of them as far as like shows and stuff. We talked to a lot of them and they all want to do some stuff. So we're just going to put out like a mixtape with like, we take these 8 bands and we do a song with each one of them. So that way it's probably a lot easier on us to do 8 rather than them do a full project with it. Because we want to do an EP with, like Local Man or something like that. But instead of like having to worry about getting all these people together all the time, if we just get together for a full week and just max out, then I don't know. I'm really excited about that. Into the Clouds is good. It's fun. It's our first project as a collective. We've all put out at least 2 or 3 projects before coming up with something. And but you know, ironically, our first show as Sativa Prophets was at a heavy metal show.
Oh yeah.
At what's that place? The Sanctuary or something? What's that called?
Sanctuary.
There was a place. I think it might have shut down.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I think
it was
it's
like
a Sanctuary.
underground or something.
Oh, I'm not gonna know what you're talking about. Oh no, you're talking about the place where the Choke played that one show, the on 2nd Street.
Yeah.
It's like a haunted house up top, and then
exactly.
basement bar.
Yeah, it's right by the Chesapeake Arena.
Yeah, right over there. That place.
The Voodoo Lounge?
Voodoo Lounge. It's now a bar and grill.
I don't know where Sanctuary came from.
No, I think the Sanctuary is the name of the haunted house up top.
Cool. All right.
Boom.
Cool.
Boom.
Make sure I'm not that fucking crazy.
No.
But
so, okay. So I have a question for you. I need to know the art. Okay, I'm just a corny white dude in my mid-30s. I need to know the art of the mixtape because I hear mixtape all the time and I've never really understood. To me, a mixtape was being a kid and recording like Stone Temple Pilots off the Cat and making a mixtape and giving it to a girl. Yeah. So what's a mixtape to you?
It's still
to the
that.
Sativa Prophets.
But like, say we did an actual like mixtape with Tree and Leaf. They did their Sunset Cassette music series, right? And they had 8 different acts. I say acts because we were the only hip hop. Everybody else was band. And we hosted like this mixtape. We all took like 2 songs each and put it on one cassette tape. And to me, that's more of what a mixtape actually is. And then, you know, words change and fluctuation as time goes on with the culture and stuff like that. So, you know, with hip hop, it came like people would take other people's beats, rap over them, and put them on a CD and put it out. Something that's not mass distributed by a major. Something you put together just to get out.
So is it a demo? Because because I'll hear like, you know, like Lil Wayne has a mixtape or, you know, Kid Cudi has a mixtape. And it's like, I didn't know what that meant because I thought a mixtape was like different artists.
Right.
But to say that they rap over other beats or borrow, and sometimes the songs are shorter.
Would you say like the, what do they call that? When Jay-Z rapped over the White Album?
No, because that was somebody made that. Okay. Somebody had the isolated vocal tracks. Somebody had the instrument. Yeah, that's like some dude with a MacBook in his basement, like cranking that shit.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like a conceptual project right there.
Okay,
and I think that's what the main difference is like, because when we kind of did like a mixtape with Sativa Prophets 2 years ago, where we just took random records that we'd already had on our separate projects and put them together. But it's still a CD. So it's like, it's weird, you know, but without having like an idea and, you know, thought out structure for something, I think that is what's going to define a mixtape. And for us with this, we're not really going to try and make a bunch of money off of it. We just think it'd be really dope to do that. Because, I mean, if you think about doing a record with Zoot Suit versus doing a record with the Flock of Pigs or Super Funky and, you know, all that being on one project, I think that's what's going to make it a mixtape. Plus Mars was like, with this mixtape. So he said it like 25 times. So in my head now it's a fucking mixtape.
Yeah, now it's a mixtape.
So it's like a comp, right? Like a compilation.
Yeah, I
get
don't
like
know,
a bunch
cool.
of different artists on one thing, but it's all kind of a collective. I like that kind of stuff.
So how long have you guys been together as this art and music collective?
I mean, we kind of broke off from our other groups like Neighborhood, and Rob was in the Rumor, and Panda would just like record up in Guthrie for rock bands and stuff like that. 2013, 2012 maybe. But really, and I mean, we've been rocking since before that, but this past 2 years has been the moment where like we get a little bit more, I don't want to say notoriety, but our reach has expanded. Whether it's in the city or, you know, different states and areas, because we've done a lot of traveling, doing shows here and there. We're trying to put together this tour. It's been a rough road, but because, you know, you try to have somebody else plan it for you, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. It's the first rap act I ever tried to. I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna give you my money.
Right.
So,
like a tour manager, like somebody to do all the booking and stuff.
Yeah.
But they never done like hip hop shows.
Right.
It's like,
you know,
I booked a lot of metal bands and punk bands. I just don't.
this chick hit me up from Michigan. I was like, oh, dope. You know, I was like, you know, flattered that she even listened to my stuff, first of all, and then took the time to reach out to me. And then after thinking about it, I was like, well, fuck, if she's just going to send emails and call people, I can do that, but I don't want to, honest. And I think it's a different look when somebody's like, hey, yeah, I'm with Sativa Prophets. It sounds way different than, hey, me and my boys want to come out there and boogie.
Yeah.
You know, so,
yeah.
but yeah, the past 2 years, we've been really elevating, like, not only the music, but our entire, like, energy, you know, especially since we got Mars into the collective and stuff like that. Kind of gives that space urban trap feel to Rod's, you know, kind of half intellectual hippie vibe. And then, you know, I just scream and try and be a miniature light-skinned James Brown and shit.
Hell yeah. So I have another question for you. You know, Josh and I grew up playing like punk rock and metal or whatever. And I've always been curious about the hip hop culture and practice. So you guys are a collective. You have more than one person on the mic. Do you guys get together and practice, or is this a thing where you guys just kind of do it on your own time and get together and perform? I was always curious what like a hip hop group band practice, for lack of a better term.
Was there a time when you were in the garage with like a shitty PV microphone that turns on and off? You plug into a karaoke machine, and it's just like
or
you
like
and like three friends,
little
like,
guitar amp or something.
Yeah, like friends just like rapping together. That'd be kind of fun though.
I mean, it comes to like, you know, when you guys are jamming together, you start to get that chemistry and that feel. With especially with us, not a lot of acts do as like much movement as us. I think that there are like those differences where people would need to rehearse, and I know like Mainframe Tracks family, they rehearse heavy because they want to know where they're gonna be. There's certain points where you have a long breath of some words you might need to cut out, and your boy come in, hype that part up, finish that line for you, stuff like that. But with us, we don't. We should. And people are like, man, how long did it take you to practice that?
Yeah.
As soon as we got here,
we're practicing right now.
Yeah, you know
actually.
what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes we'll just like Panda play whatever, you know. We don't even know what the set list is going to be. And I think that just keeps us on our toes in general. But we're so busy with our separate. I mean, Mars works from like 2 or 3 in the morning to like 10 or something, and then you know Rod works from like 10 to 3, and I work from 3 to whenever. So our schedules are way bonkers. Plus, I got 3 kids, a wife, and shit. But no practice really for us. I mean, as long as we know what we're saying, we'll be good, you know. And
it seems like it takes a lot of trust, you know, to like be like, okay, you know, we don't practice. We practice on our own time. We get our shit straight. But then when we come together to perform, like I got to trust both of you guys, all 3 of you guys, 2 of you guys,
hit your marks,
that you're all going to bring it, and that you got to trust me that I'm going to bring it and not be like the shaky leg of the table, you know?
And one thing, I mean, we've done so many shows together now that we just kind of feel it. And sometimes we have this particular sequence of records that we don't really do anymore because we kind of got burnt out and wanted to do more records and stuff like that as far as live goes, you know. But it would go from one of my records into Mars's, and we would die at the end of mine. We just all fall out. And the first time it even happened, we didn't even know we were going to do it, you know. Like, we just, you know, the beat like cuts in half, and it's a halftime shit, and it's really trippy, and it's really low, and like reverse stuff. And so, you know, we always kind of just like melted or whatever. And then the first time, like, we hit the floor, and then Mars would just get up on his knees and do what Mars does, and then his record would come in, and it's really hyphy and stuff like that. So we did take that from like a random occurrence, and then started using that because people loved it. Yeah. And so, and you know, you see videos online and people are like, what the fuck is going on? It's weird, you know. We had some, we did the show in Tulsa at the Yeti, and it was like a freestyle over this random beat from the 90s or whatever I was doing. And I had some MCs from Tulsa come up and jump in a cypher with us. And I was like, hey, we should die. And so,
and they're like, "What the fuck?"
right. Well, like not the MCs that I brought up, but I told the boys.
Get deep, man.
And we just died on stage while they were all up there, and it makes people really uncomfortable, but it's not mundane.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we keep.
Well, it's a show. You guys, like, it's a live performance. I've seen some hip hop acts, rappers, and stuff where they're just like kind of with a microphone, just kind of, and they'll pace back and forth on stage. And like, all right, man, but it's cool. You're good, but
Right.
But what you guys do is you're all of you are so fucking amazing at what you do. Plus, you bring this live. Like, I couldn't jump around and do the shit you guys do, and then have the breath to say what you're saying,
Right.
Because you guys go nuts. I mean, I have a hard time like trying to get into it while I'm playing bass and singing. It's like I'm gonna fuck one of the two up. Either I'm not gonna hit that note or I'm not gonna hit this note, but I look cool doing it. You know what I mean? You guys accomplish all of it, and it's really cool to see.
Thanks, man.
Well, what are your thoughts on like live hip hop and rap? Because I'll see it on TV, or I've seen some shows, and it's the same with all kinds of music. But I think a lot of times with hip hop, it's either they go really hard and it's amazing, it's a spectacle to watch. A lot of times there's like a live band,
Right.
well, something extra, whether it's visually or musically. But then sometimes you get dudes up there that really are just like phoning it in.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, first and foremost, it's hashtag stop rapping over your recorded records 2017. Okay. People, I mean, there's still professionals that do that, but I think it takes away from, that energy and that feeling. Like, you connect with people. And if you're just going to play the record, just play the record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If something that like Travis Scott came to the city and played the hook to one of his records like 16 times or something. It's that it's goosebumps. I get those goosebumps every time.
Yeah.
For some reason, everybody just fucking loves it so much because of the drop. It's the drop.
Right.
These
But they
kids
just want to hear it over and over and over.
And so I think that you have to first stop that. Some people know their niche though, right? They know how they want to come off and market. They know their brand or whatever. So Nas isn't going to do the same thing that Kendrick does, because Nas is more like, I'm gonna tell you these stories. He's a poet. I mean, not to say Kendrick's not, because obviously he is or whatever, but he knows what attracts people to him the most, and that is that energy and like the way he uses his voice and shit like that. Because I mean, Eminem's one of the most, I'd say, like, shock factor value when it comes to lyrics and stuff like that, and so he has to concentrate on not doing so much, so he'll have more theatrics, you know. But like groups like Flatbush Zombies and shit like that, they're able to, because they're a trio, or whatever, and they're able to use their differences dynamically to make it colorful, so to speak, I
think that's what you guys do, because there's the three of you, and then your DJ comes and raps a little bit, right?
Nah, Panda's been on some records, but he doesn't come out to the front with us.
I thought I saw him rap on something
The
at the
big
Speakeasy
dude,
once.
the beard?
Yeah.
Nah, he went and greeted the crowd one time for, maybe it was the Pajama Jammy Jam, but I don't know.
Did he perform at the Corey Feldman show with somebody? I don't know. Anyways, but the three of you guys,
maybe he did.
I'm getting sidetracked. What? Gonna throw a rock at someone's truck. The three of you have three distinct styles, and but they mix together. And I like the way you said, like, you die, and then like the other person comes and does their thing. But it is like it's this weird mixture of things that separately, like, well, how are you gonna make that work together? And it's like it's a nice blend of a PB&J of sorts. It's just taste that you're like, why would you put that together?
Right.
It totally works. It's awesome.
So I don't want to get like super political, but you did bring up Eminem, and his
headline news.
Man, everybody forgot about Vegas real quick.
Yeah. His that freestyle came out, was on the BET Awards, and I sat down and watched it because, truth be told, like, I love Eminem. I have for a long time. Like, do I agree with everything he says? No,
Right.
But I think he's very talented. I think he's a legacy artist, like he's going to be somebody that's known 30, 40 years from now.
Absolutely.
So I see this video, and I mean, it's not a big surprise. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Right.
Not a big fan, not a biggest fan of the guy, but I saw this and I had some really weird mixed emotions about it. I mean, do I like Trump? No. Do I think Eminem has a right to come out and say whatever he wants and kind of do this like call to arms with people? Sure. great. But I did get this feeling like, is it good to battle evil with hate? Because it was very hateful, and I get it. I get the message. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but I just kind of want to get both of y'all's thoughts on it, because I'm sure you've watched it. You guys have seen it. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. Pop. I'm like way late to the game on a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of headlines about it. I've read articles about it. I've read Eminem, his retort to it of, I guess
the retort to the retort.
Yeah,
to his retort.
Yeah,
what was his retort?
He was saying that Eminem is a character, and every time he raps, he's like, me as a person right now, sitting in front of you right now, Marshall Mathers, has no ill will towards the LGBT community. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Like gay, straight, lesbian, trans. I'm supportive of all of that. When I rap, though,
but one of his newest big songs has the word faggot in it.
Yeah, but he was talking about that. Like it's because the way he says it is, that term was used back in the day, thrown around as meaning like,
right.
But here's what he says, and he kind of dug himself a little deeper in the hole. In the interview, is like, something's like a pussy. I'm like, well, you can't say that word either anymore. So basically, saying like a weak person. I'm like, all right, but that's still kind of yeah.
What were your thoughts on the coming out against Trump?
What was he? He was negative about it, right? He's negative about Trump?
I would say I would say that there's a negative message.
I mean, that's kind of I kind of got that feeling from the interview, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I figured. I didn't know if he had like a, Make
I don't
America
know,
Great Again.
man. I think that I saw somebody. I guess it happened the night before I saw it. Saw it in the morning, and people were like, "Oh, whoop de whoop de whoop! Eminem did this. He bodied Trump." So I'm expecting something crazy. You know what I mean? Because I was an Eminem fan, you know what I'm saying? Because his lyrical ability and all this, his cadence is always tight. And so I'm watching it, and it just, from jump, I'm expecting, an instrumental, because that would have been cool, instead of the garage and stuff. But, I wasn't like that happy with it. And not that I'm like, like you, man, I don't fuck about Trump, right? But it's like, I expected more out of Eminem when it come to some of the bars, but off the, all that shit was still off the top, right? So that's still impressive,
right? With
the way he used them syllables and shit, which is still crazy to me. But I don't know, it was just too much. It was too much. I'm sick and tired of hearing about Trump one way or another. You know what I mean?
That's exactly how I feel. It's like, we all know he sucks, or my friends know he sucks,
right?
But it's like, I'm tired of getting on Twitter or whatever and just seeing it all the time. And the thing is that's precisely what gets that guy off. All press is good press, to this guy.
He fucking loves it.
Dude, you think he doesn't love that the left hate him? Like, he spoke at a I forgot what they called it, but he was speaking about Judeo-Christian values and bringing those back into the limelight, and nobody's going to attack Judeo-Christian values anymore.
That's funny.
This is coming from President Pussy Grabber.
Yeah.
Like the same dude. So what's funny to me, and I've done this so many times lately, but especially since the guy's taken office, I craft the tweet. I've had enough. I get the phone out and I got something to say. And I get that Twitter app up, and I'm about to deliver, like I'm about to prophesize. You know what I mean? Like,
you're about to make a difference.
I don't tweet political things. I'm not really a political guy. We talk about politics on the show a little bit, but we don't parade around, And,
it's mostly just doing Trump impressions.
Yes, but fuck this guy. Oh man, it was actually about the Judeo-Christian values, and I was gonna, craft a 144 character just bullet.
A zinger.
And I go in, I'm editing words down. I'm changing stuff around.
You got the thesaurus up in the background. You're like, no, I got to word this just a little better.
I got to keep it under 144. So I'm like, so precise. I'm like a sniper. I got this. This will be the tweet to end all discussion. But then I'm like,
that don't sound like you were rapping right there.
What good is it going to do? What good's it going to do?
Yeah, put your voice out there. I can't even look at the dude's face anymore. Like if I see him on TV, I turn my television off. Like I don't. What's the word? Yeah, no. What's the word? Like, is it visceral? Like when you just see something and it just makes you feel like I feel like I'm being molested. You know what I mean? Like this is what it feels like. Just seeing his fucking face.
Well, going back to the Eminem thing, I'm the same way. Like okay. Number one, it's a freestyle, but I need to ask you, somebody that is well versed, no pun intended, in the hip hop community.
Oh, I see what you did there.
That's why I do this. But it's a freestyle, but I don't think that he didn't think some of that shit up before he gets with the cameras rolling.
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
mean, he probably has some stuff in mind. No pun intended.
Right.
Okay. But I think that, you can tell, especially when you start talking about, how do you say her name?
Melania?
Yeah, Melania.
Yeah.
He muffed up. But see, that also made me think like he had something in mind for that, and then he dropped out. But, either way, it was very aggressive.
It was. I did like it. There were a few moments where I'm like, okay, you shoehorned a few words in there, flip some words around. If he would have just thrown in the mom spaghetti reference, I think it would have went so much more viral.
Just put it right, just sneak it in there somewhere.
Just right in the middle.
Yeah.
Just right in the middle. Just throw in something about spaghetti, Melania's spaghetti.
Well, you could do like and I was going to say Scaramucci, but that doesn't rhyme with spaghetti. But if anyone can make it rhyme, Eminem could.
It would be Eminem.
No, I wanted to laugh. He just made me sad. I was like, yeah, I get it, bro. I'm tired of being pissed off. Make me laugh. Like he's got a lot of good jokes like you're talking about. Mom spaghetti. I'm sitting in my head like, yeah, arms are heavy, knees weak. Maybe bring up Monica Lewinsky or something. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Anything. He could have talked about his hands. He could have been a little more like aggressive in a funny way.
Right.
But I guess, he only has so much time. He's getting his message out. I thought it was very powerful. Like after I watched it, I just sat there with my feeling for a moment, which is, I think, something we don't do as a culture, like as a human culture. Hip hop, black, white, Trump supporter, anti-Trump, whatever. It's just like, we're so distracted by our phones and by, everything. I mean, I can't ever not look at my phone. I look at my phone 50 times a day,
We leave time for reflection.
There's not a lot of time to sit with your feelings anymore and really think about things because, like I said, you're distracted by the next thing. It's like some stand-up comedian made a joke about Trump. I think it was Patton Oswalt. He's like, I could do Trump material in my set, but by the time I write my set and have a show and deliver it, he's already done something worse. So my joke is already like played out and old before I can even deliver it. Yeah. And that's how I feel with a lot of things. Like, I really try to like have some self-reflection time and sit with thoughts and really formulate opinions about the things I either like or do not like. Right. But it's hard nowadays. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Because just like, Vegas thing, I made a joke about it being forgot, but I was thinking about that today. I was like, nobody's tripping.
Yeah.
As much. I'm like, I still don't think that dude did it, or whatever, like, I was like, I don't even know what I think. Because I didn't want to like all the shit that's in your face, this, that, and the other, these shooters, these actors, Sandy Hook, all this shit. I'm like, they're just throwing all this shit in there just to keep it, like you said, distraction.
Well, I think it didn't really start with Columbine, but Columbine was the first one that put it into like the forefront, put it on everybody's minds, and then it's just like a fucking snowball going down a hill. It's just like there's this shit and this shit. Oh, the fuck, Trump did this. Oh my God, there's what the fuck. The celebrities dying. Give a shit about that.
Sprinkle in some natural disasters on top.
We got 3 fucking hurricanes, all that shit, and then you're like, well, and you can't even like question, like, are you sure? Conspiracy theorists, you're the problem. Like, no, well, there's eyewitness accounts that say that the gunshots came from a different floor, but okay, I guess we won't question it. Just believe everything that you're told, and then till the next thing happens. But we can't have gun control because guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Well, it seems like a recurring theme with a lot of this stuff, whether it's conspiracy or not, is, people worship shows like NCIS, NCSI, going back to Columbo and Matlock.
Judd and Judy.
Perry Mason. But where are our badasses that really get to the bottom and we have definitive answers? Because like Sandy Hook, like the Las Vegas shooting, like a lot of things, no one knows for sure. I mean, we all have a pretty good idea with what we've been told and what we, get on the internet and find out. But where's the definitive answers that can give people some peace of mind, whether they want to hear it or not?
They are dead.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's convenient that every single one of these shooters commits suicide as soon as it's done. Like,
why is nobody talking about the note? There was supposed to be a note.
Yeah.
What's on the note? And they're talking about the FBI's got all this and not
Well,
releasing
the FBI also they keep backtracking on the time. Like I just read an article they were talking about. This is the 7th or 8th time the FBI's like, no, it didn't happen this time. It happened at this time, and he didn't check into that room. We'll figure it out. Just believe us. It's fine. I'm like, God damn. There's nothing we can do about it, though. I mean, the power is so great that all we can do is just make 144 characters and send it out to the world.
Or delete it.
Yeah.
But then you have our president coming along and making meme phrases like fake news is now a thing that people say all the time about everything.
Fake news will be in the fucking Webster's dictionary. I guarantee it.
It's insane because then it puts the seed of doubt in your head and you think, is everything fake news? Is that fake news? What is fake news? And now you cannot, again, pull up Twitter, read an article without that word in there. And then now it's just like technology, being distracted. That's the new normal. And it's way harder to go back than it is to go further down that rabbit hole.
It's hard not to think, especially when you find it's a catch-22. It's ironic that you find yourself going down a rabbit hole thinking about this article and this article, these YouTube videos and blah, blah, blah of we're too connected. We're constantly on our phones. We're constantly on the internet. But I'm going down this 5-hour rabbit hole on the internet, learning that we're spending too much time. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, what?
But that's our desire. That's our human nature.
Sucks.
I mean, how often have you, maybe been hanging out late at night and you're just on your phone? You don't maybe got some little me time. A little bit of that precious me time, and you're like, I do it all the time. I have a lot of me time. Yeah. So it's just like, I go down these rabbit holes and I want to get to the bottom of it. Like I'm really going to
investigate
right.
journalism.
Like you're going to find it through fucking Facebook and Twitter articles and shit. And
exactly. Some Reddit page is going to break it wide open.
It's scary.
In reality, you just went to go send an email and then you had some notifications and then boom, you're done. Next thing you know, you're watching cat videos on YouTube. Or how-tos and shit. It's weird.
It is weird.
It really is weird. Several times, okay, we was painting. We do paint stain everything. I was like, Rod, send this email. He'd just pick up his phone and he would just automatically go to Facebook. It took him like an hour.
To get to the email?
To get to the email. It sucks.
Dude, it does suck. Well, it's like you go to take a shit. If you forget your phone, it feels like you're on a fucking deserted island.
Yeah.
For that, 3 to 5 minutes, quiet. 10 minutes, you're in there. You're like, what do I read? I need something to scroll.
No, like at work, it's like if my phone's charging and I'll leave it there and I'll go take a shit at work and I'm sitting there like, at first I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck, this is freeing. I'm going to enjoy this shit.
It is freeing, but that's the new normal. It's like having this thing is never out of my arm's reach, ever.
Which is why when they put that chip in you where everything's going to be in your brain, you can do all the shit through your brain. Like, just sign me up.
Well, if I'm going to have to carry around this fucking paperweight, I'd rather just have it on me, right? Like, I'd be first in line, I think, to have an implant, man.
Let's go.
But do you ever watch science fiction movies or read science fiction books?
I do a lot.
Because it's what's happening. It's what's crazy. Because when they do that, then they can put like a kill switch in there. So you have this chip in you.
Remote disable.
So and you're like, I'm just watching my Google news through my eyeballs. And they're like, you know what? Let's just kill about like 150,000 of these people. Beep. There was a malfunction in the chip, guys. Actually, it was a lone shooter that went through and just pushed.
Yeah, they're going in and revising the history in their brain.
Yeah,
they had viruses.
When I was a kid, I was raised in church. Just your token, church out in Choctaw, and I was always into sci-fi and stuff. And ever since I was a kid, and to this day, like my favorite genre of sci-fi is like the dystopian future.
Oh yeah,
the Blade Runner setting, if you will, that kind of stuff. The cyberpunk type, like grim noir future,
Yeah. Shit went downhill and then society has to rebuild.
And mega corporations own everything and there's these people running in the shadows, et cetera,
That's happening right now.
I know. No. Okay. So number one, it is happening right now and I kind of love it because I'm like, oh, it's like I'm living in my favorite stories now, right? Even though it's scary. Secondly, when I was a kid, I remember my dad was talking about, I was probably like 8 years old and we were sitting in the parking lot of the mall and he was reading an article in the newspaper sitting in the truck and he was talking about how, one day they're going to mend man and machine, like they're going to do implants with computer chips. And I remember telling my dad as an 8-year-old boy, I was like, well, I want to be first in line when that happens. And he looked at me like I was just like Damien, You know, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
no, I'm getting you back in church. No, you can't think that. And I've always thought that way.
Yeah.
But you're right, Josh. Like, it is happening.
Well, and the thing about it, like talking about going down fucking rabbit holes, when you just do just a little bit of research, you find out that it is one corporation that owns everything. There's one head of it, and there's tentacles that go down to like, oh, Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola is also run by this company, and then there's this company, and then there's this company. It's all owned by one fucking thing. And wouldn't you know it, they're the ones that started the fucking Federal Reserve and everything too. So boom.
Boom.
It's so
Yeah.
staggering, though, to think, you know, yeah, there's all these tentacles and umbrellas and whatnot.
You might want to call it like a hydra.
Sure, that sounds
Yeah.
good. But it's so hard for me to make like a decent wage and like get to go on vacation. And I mean,
Fucking
I know that
A.
probably sounds like privileged or whatever, but it's just like I work hard. I have a full-time job and I still can't really do all the things I want to do. And then I think of like the lady walking down the street this morning, like how I know we made fun of her earlier, but it's like my heart does go out. Like, how hard is that woman's life
Right.
and that guy's life? You know, it's like, you know, I'm thankful for what I have, and it doesn't come from a place of pride. It just comes from a place of like, you know I did work hard to be able to afford a home and drive a decent car, you know, and eat,
Right.
you know, shit like that.
yeah.
But it's also like you put it in perspective with these companies making trillions of dollars, and it's like, isn't there not a little bit more to pass around?
Well, I think it goes back to what we were talking about, like being on your phone and being plugged into all this stuff and going down rabbit holes and online shopping, one-click Amazoning. I think what it is it's been this way since the 1950s. You put out this way of life that they show this is what you should aspire to. You should live in the suburbs and own this house and drive this car and eat this food and do this and this. And it's been just getting exponentially worse to where now everyone like lives up to this. I got to have this. Like, you don't have to have shit. You don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
But you're led to believe it's clicked inside of you that you have to have this thing. Like, you
That's
can drive
what
around.
success is.
Yeah,
you know?
but that's not what success is.
Right.
What success is for me, I think what being successful is maintaining positive relationships and just passing along. It's going to sound real hippie, but spreading love. That's really all that matters. Because the more love there is in the world, the less hate there is in the world. The less Trumps there are.
Right. Well, what's like to you? What is a successful life for you? What would you say? What would be the perfect, setup for you?
I don't know, man, because honestly, when we were talking about, feeling like, oh, I need a vacation, but we still are very privileged when we live in the United States or whatever, and you think about cats that, live in the dumps in the Middle East or whatever, and I honestly, I think I would rather enjoy, had I not been already predisposed to everything's so accessible.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like the number one seller of mankind is convenience. You know what I'm saying? And so if I wasn't around all that constantly, I think I would probably be a little more happier out just growing my own vegetables, doing that thing away from everywhere. I had to bury my shit and, wipe with leaves. I'm good, probably, but
I've had that same thought of like, that would be so, I'm going to fucking do that. And then I realized I don't know how to do any of that.
yeah,
I can't make tomatoes grow in my garden in my backyard, but it would be nice to be able to do that.
I
they
would
make it so
fucking
hard.
starve to death.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
die.
I
And then
would
the
starve to
government's
death.
going to come and get you because you're not paying taxes on the land that you're built your own house on.
I think you're right, though. It's like you can't go back.
Yeah.
Like you watch a
Genie's out of the
documentary
bottle.
over like you said, like a Middle Eastern country or like a third world country or something like that. And
What happened to Puerto Rico recently? The entire fucking island was without power for like forever.
a lot of it
People-
still is.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
died. But that bounty paper towel roll is really going to help out. Sorry, I keep thinking about that. Like,
he hit him with the Kobe.
Hit him with the
He did-
COVID.
He had good form.
Great
I mean,
form.
he really did
he
have
played
good
basketball in
form.
college. So
I'm just gonna say he had a limp wrist. Douche.
So you see, like you watch a travel show or a documentary or something, and you see these third world countries, and the children are smiling. They're having a good time because that's their life.
Yeah.
But you take one of us and put us over there,
Yeah.
we would be like, this is the worst.
Well, what you
the
notice
worst.
about those is kids don't have phones in their hands. People don't have phones in their hands. They're happy because that's the life they know. We were happy when we were in tribes of 60 and under, because everyone had their part. Everyone did their thing.
How old a guy are you?
Huh?
How old a guy are you?
We got to bleep this part out.
All right. Or just hold up some numbers. 24. All right. Cool. So you, as Josh and I, we're around the same age. You're a little younger than us, but I always say this on the show that I was part of the last generation that grew up without having the internet when we were young.
Right.
You know, now a baby has an iPad.
Shit.
You know, a kid has a cell phone. Like, I didn't get the internet until I was 18.
Right, yeah.
I had some friends that had it, some early adopters. But I'm kind of proud of that. I'm proud that I went outside and played as a kid.
Completely different.
Got hurt.
I had a Nintendo, but I also didn't have fucking virtual reality or a PS4 with a 65-inch flat screen in front of me where you're just absorbed with it all day. I played a little Mario, then I went outside and played.
And that's a huge difference. And it's funny how quick it happened. You know, I would say probably right around like 2000, something like that. Like,
I have my own conspiracy theory about that. I was in the shower the other day and I was like, what if Y2K actually happened? What if it actually happened and we're just living in this like weird simulation? Because everything did like, bam, 2000. It's like, well, now we have fucking smartphones and now we have all this other shit. Technology all of a sudden just advanced rapidly.
Right.
You don't think it's part of like a...
I don't know, man. It went from like,
curve?
and like it just shot up and it's not stopping. And now there's like, there's a virtual reality. There's all of this shit. They're saying within the next like 20 years, there's going to be like, you'll have like everyone, like those little what are they? Hap suits?
Like a hazmat suit?
No, the hap suits that do like your body motion and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's already here. They're going to perfect them and they're going to be mass marketed in like the next 20 years. So you're going to have like literal live-in virtual reality worlds.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Saying, man.
Bring it on.
Yeah. You know, and it's weird to think about that. But yeah, there's a sense of pride, man, coming from, what's the Oregon Trail?
Yeah.
And shit like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
You know?
Dial up.
Bro.
Dial up.
Finishing a game. The game has an end. Games don't have ends now.
Yeah, they
They
don't.
just keep going.
Yeah. Then
There's
they tack
extra
on an
levels on-
expansion.
Yeah.
You pay another $20.
Like, I finished it. Actually, I didn't.
Not today.
Not today.
And I know, again, you can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say a young girl, 3 or 4 years old, you know, has an iPad. Let's say, you know, mom gives her the iPad when they're going on a road trip so the girl can watch a movie. It's a great way to diffuse boredom, crying.
Distraction.
But she can't go back.
Mm-mm.
She couldn't be like, okay, I'm going to take that and you can't have that anymore. There was no way you could go back. Like,
That child
could
will
you
hate
live
you.
without your phone anymore? Could you? I mean,
No, man, there's no way. How am I supposed to wake up?
I think that's stifling creativity in kids.
you
Like
think so?
giving them
so?
shit. Like, because I remember when I was a kid, road trips especially, you'd be in the backseat of a car, you'd have like a Walkman or something, and you're listening to music, but you're staring out a window, looking at things go by. I don't know about you guys. I would always just like start making up stories in my head about maybe there's like a creature that lives in the woods over
Right.
here. You know, like you get more creative. Whereas now it's like, it's not, I'm sure they're still creative like digitally or whatever, but they don't have to make up the story. It's right there in front of them. You know what I mean?
I could agree with that, but I don't know if I'm fully on board because there are a lot of apps and games that stimulate mental activity. You know, I don't know. Like, again, it is a weird.
I agree
thing
with
to
like the
traverse.
imagination part.
Yeah, that's what
you know
I'm
what I'm
talking about,
saying? Like, because that's how like I even got into music anyway.
Yeah.
Is I was always really good at English because I'd write stories, short stories, A+ on that bitch every time. Poems, bam, got it. Why is Mike so good? I don't know. Give me some words, I'm gonna put them together.
Yeah.
But then it's like playing around outside. I used to always just love walking in the woods. I grew up in Missouri some of the time, so around those Ozarks, big ass trees, caves, climb in them, just imagine different things. But that's also just like being a kid, you know. But it might take away a little bit of that instead of like I want to be this for Halloween. I don't know, maybe that's a bad analogy because it's still kind of, you know, you want to be a Ninja Turtle when the Ninja Turtles was still there.
Right.
Now it's Nemo and shit. But, you know, I feel like the imagination part is probably where you're right. But when it comes to like the apps and stuff, you're able to learn how to do, you know, even just like drawing or coloring.
I was going to say drawing apps
and stuff like that.
I think the point is, I think that we're in a time where we're fumbling around with this technology. Like we haven't mastered it. You know,
I think they have mastered
you
it.
think so?
And they're just
but
slowly
have we?
Well, right? Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Oh, like they're giving it like
spoon feeding it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's some articles I read that they've had this technology for a long time. They're just wondering like how to mass market it. So now it's like, oh, we'll just give them a little of this, give them a little of this. Like they have the next fucking thing 20 years. But here's the thing though, they don't know how they have it. They just don't know how they have it. Like the technology is advancing faster than the people who are creating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
They're still trying to figure.
Yeah, they're trying to keep up with the technology that's going. Like it's going. We don't know why it's going. It's just going. Like they created what was it? Was it Google and Facebook? There's Android AI that started communicating with one another in their own language. Like shut it off. Like that's some crazy shit.
Again, but that's that dystopian, scary shit. Like
I think that's gonna happen in our lifetime, though. I think we will get there. I think we'll have the road in the next like 50 years.
Oh man, I fucking hope so. It'd be so cool if that's the way to go out.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Fighting machines.
No. If I go, everyone's going. Like, I wouldn't like. I have a fear of. I don't have a fear of death. I'm still weird about it. But if I know that it's happened to a lot of people at the same time,
it's better to be one of many than all by yourself.
Exactly. I'm not going down that mortal corner alone.
Right. Well, so let's go back. You said you were born in Missouri. You were raised there.
No, I was born in Germany.
Okay.
Military brat. So my parents were in the army. They met over there. Lived out there until I was like 5. And it was back and forth from Oklahoma because my grandma lived in Oklahoma at the time, and my mom and pops went and fought in Desert Storm out in Saudi Arabia and stuff. And then we went back to Germany for a little bit, Kansas, and then I did some like pre-puberty in Missouri, you know, from like 10 to 12. Started getting my bearings as a man. You know, it's like, why don't I have hair in my armpits, my balls?
And then one day you wake up and it's there?
Nope, it took me probably like 17 years.
Like that 5 weeks ago.
I thought about that not too long ago. I was like, you know, I remember not having pubes, and then I remember having them, but I don't remember the interim. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get too personal, but everyone does a little maintenance on the downstairs region.
Sure.
I was doing a little maintenance, and like a memory triggered in my head of like when I first got like, because I thought about that too. It's like I don't remember when I got them, and in my memory, I was like, oh fuck, I totally remember like hating it, like I can't have it, and I was trying to like shave them off, and I cut myself, and I put a Band-Aid on my dick.
Oh my god,
because it was like I just remember having the feeling of like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if everybody else had. I'm not looking at my friends' crotches.
No.
So
that was forbidden.
Yeah, and I was like 12 with like this tuft.
And a Band-Aid.
I always had like the Charlie Chaplin for the longest time.
Just like the Hitler? Oh, I thought you meant like on your dick.
No, it was on the dick. It was just right above it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Now, would it be between the base of the dick and the balls? Is that where it would be?
No, it'd be a butt. It'd be in between.
I'm talking right in the pelvis, not the gooch.
No, your dick is the nose. So it's going to go right underneath. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Oh, man. But yeah.
So formative years there.
Yeah, and then we moved to Oklahoma, and I've been here since about 98 or whatever, and that's pretty much where I've been since 98, except for, you know, some trips and stuff like that. But we're supposed to move to Denver, but we didn't end up because we had a bunch of kids and shit, so that's why we're still here.
So are you happy here? Like, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. Like, I've been obviously these other places, and I think that it's really chill here, you know, and when it comes to being an adult, it's a lot easier to get around. It's not as many people, but it is growing, you know, but I think that there's different vibes everywhere. Like, I love San Diego, you know, it just kind of, it feels upbeat. I mean, there's a ton of, you know, homeless people and stuff like that, but a lot of them aren't even like really weird or like that, you know, like they
just like do their thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's trippy people no matter where you go, even in Denver and shit like that. You know?
I lived in San Diego for about a year. It reminded me a lot of Oklahoma in a way because it's kind of like a Republican town, but there's also this like counterculture of like skaters and surfers.
Right.
So, and then you're right by the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Weather was tight.
Yeah, a lot of cool venues and bars and shit like that.
Yeah, it just felt different, man.
A little pricey though, but
yeah, that was like I'm not
Oklahoma's
doing that.
cheap.
Same thing with Denver, man.
It's so easy.
Denver's dope as shit, but it's fucking expensive.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Kansas is cheap.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in Kansas though.
No.
I think Oklahoma City really has something. I don't want to sound cheesy and say special, but like everybody has this like they want something big to happen in Oklahoma, and it's like when we got OU football, whatever it is, when the Thunder came, everybody's super supportive and.
That's huge. That's huge for our city. Like, I'm a Thunder fan.
Yeah.
I love watching basketball. I love that we have a team here finally, and that they're a good team.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, Thunder basketball is huge, like for our city to grow.
Yeah.
It might sound cheesy, but we need stepping stones like that to become a bigger city.
I think the next one, not because your group name is Sativa Prophets, but I think the legalization of marijuana is like the next thing to make our city and state fucking huge.
I want to be an optimist about that.
It's on the ballot next year.
I make the gold rush analogy. This is a modern day gold rush. Look what it's done for places like Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some reason that Texas does it first, we're just going to get skipped over. But if we do it first, it would be huge for Oklahoma. We could fix the roads. We could pay our teachers more. We could equip our law enforcement with the things they need to be effective. And
that's why I'm not happy here is because of all that shit. I got kids. Education's trash.
Terrible.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that some of these people would really make. And they call them moral. Not moral decisions. Is not the word I'm looking for, but basically that. But they're not smart decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, like we've been working on these I-40 and the highways for 20-something years.
How many bridges have collapsed in the past 3 years?
It's crazy.
It's scary. And not only are our roads crumbling, but our education system is in the garbage. And I don't have kids.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I don't care about kids and wanting them to be smart if they're from where I'm from.
Yeah, if you got to deal with them later.
I'm happy to, just to be honest, I'm happy to pay another half a cent on a dollar if that means our schools are going to be better.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's this magic plant that pretty much grows anywhere. Oklahoma would be a really great place to grow a lot of that stuff.
You see all these shops that are closed down that people are trying to lease out?
All the vape shops will just turn into weed shops.
I'm sure
I guarantee it.
So
that's
funny.
Gonna be. That's what they look like. Like if you go into a vape shop, it looks like a dispensary in Colorado.
They're just waiting to go pull this shit out and put this shit in.
That's it.
Yeah.
They're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready. And I've heard, I know it's on the ballot for medicinal, I believe.
Medicinal, I think this November voting, or is it next November?
I just don't know if the dinosaurs are going to allow it, because we got a lot of those people still pulling the strings and running things.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I said I was listening to NPR, our local NPR, and they were talking about Mary Fallon's cutting more money to the budget because we don't have money for this and this and this. There's like a $250 million or whatever hole in the budget. I'm like, what would fill that shit? Legalize weed. The taxes alone would pay for all of that shit. You want to create some jobs? Open up some dispensaries. Farms. Gotta have people to break it up and bag it and package it and all that kind of shit. Mass produce it, ship it, all that shit. Those are fucking jobs, man.
Yep.
People, they're just thinking about it's a drug and it's a gateway drug.
But I'm like, A, people are doing it anyways.
Yeah.
And B, they're doing way worse.
Yeah.
Case in point.
Meth.
Right? Literally in my own front yard. I mean, literally. Yeah. So, hey, we got to wrap up soon, man. I want to play a track if that's cool. Play out. You just tell me the name and I'm going to, with the magic of editing, I'll put it in when we're done here. Any track you want, man. What do you want to play?
Send you the... Oh man, what should I give you?
I don't know.
I'm gonna give you the opening track to my album I just released. It's LOK. It's really koala backwards, but it's spelled koala backwards. Also, the name of the album's koala backwards, but it's just the word koala backwards.
Okay.
So I'll get you that record to Koala Good Night is what the record's called.
Perfect. And again, you're performing with Sativa Prophets
tonight.
The night that this episode comes out, Friday the 20th.
Yes.
You listen to that shit.
And if people want to look you up online, man, what's the best way to do so?
You just go to sativaprophets.com, man. On all social media, it's Huckwheat, Sativa Prophets. It's that easy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
Appreciate
for coming
y'all,
by,
man. For real.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm a juggernaut. Slang. On top of Matt Helen with Jack Nicholson from the movie Wolf. Yo, what is he saying? That 100 lives. Bang. I don't care if you try to huck or not. I'ma go ahead, turn it up and notch. Some people hate life in the A, right? No, the Bay might just take lives, go, and they rise and trace guys. Put in the place I aim. Hallelujah, how you doing today? They say, yo, bro, I've been super every night. My life a movie now. Hallelujah, hallelujah, your day. Yeah, best respect the shooter if they don't know what they doing. Take him to church, let him get burned like the N-word. You get it? Log pickets had a cross in it, gas they toss in it. You don't rap like that. Santa said you can go and have that back. Nah, homie, I'm trying to match that bag.
You don't scare me.
Me neither. Heat seeker, eat ether, sting deeper, beekeeper, ink leaker. I put it all on the line. It's not your fault, it is mine. I give it the college of tries. All my credit cards decline. If I had one, I ain't really worried about the bad luck. Got hard drive, tell him better back up. My mama's white, she had a black son. That's why I got mixed feelings. Say I'm on top like I dropped from the ceiling. Post on the block, but the baggage I ain't feeling. I'm just trying to power forward. If the bird got green, another round of course. What the fuck was that? They got a lot of magazines, never found a source. It's now a scene. I don't cut for increase. I'm picking it up. It's all I'ma change. Some people out there just don't want you to succeed. So why don't you burn this motherfucker down for the one time? Flames bang, eulogy, the dang playing, soon you see. Anchor was down, we moved the beach. Stampede, you better move fast. From a lion's heart, I was bred. I will not stop till I'm dead.